Hey, 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 hey. Hey, everybody. It's Freedom Friday. Freedom Friday. Come on in here. Come on in here and let us know where you're from. Comment where you are from. Comment where you're from. Get on in here. Come on. It's Freedom Friday. Happy, happy, happy Friday. Happy Friday, good people. It's the Noontime, My Time podcast. I am MsTonya. I am here with you today, TGIF. We get ready to get this thing going. It's the Noontime, My Time podcast. Hey, 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 hey. How y'all doing, good people? Happy Friday. Let me say something right off the bat right now. Let me just get this out. If you hear a lawnmower in the background, let me let you know that my neighbor is cutting the grass, all right? And it's okay. It's all right, right? Because we all know that we got to cut our grass. We got to be out here and we got to make our yard look good. We want to keep our stuff looking nice, do a little maintenance. I see I got some people already in here with me on this. Happy Friday. It's episode 83, guys. 83. How you doing? Keep it faithful, Tori. Tori is telling us all hi. How you doing? D-Town is in the building. All right. I see I got Jamesa in here with us. Telling everybody good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Happy Friday. Hope you're saying TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God I'm fabulous. We got a conversation we're going to have here today. We are going to be talking about the art of sacrifice, unlocking those rewards that we're going to get in life when we make those sacrifices, because there's actually a connection between the two. There's a connection. There's a profound connection between sacrifice and reward. And I got to let you guys know I'm so happy to have you here to join me in this conversation. I want us to dive into the art of sacrificing for success and uncovering those transformative powers that we hold inside of us. Y'all ready for a conversation like that? I know that you are, because you made a sacrifice to be right here with me today. And I really want to make sure that it's worth it for you. I see keep the favorite Tori. She said 83. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. I got Jamesa here. She is in Maine. All right. Oh, Orchard Beach. Well, I hope you're having a lovely, lovely time. Family and friends. It sounds like it's a good time. Anything, you're on the beach. Beach vibes are always like a good vibe. So happy Friday. Before we get into the conversation, before we get too deep into the conversation, guys, you know what we got to do? It's the last day of the week. It's that midpoint of the day. We're about to have some lunch, but what are we going to do? We're going to get in a little breath work. We're going to reclaim a little bit of our time, take it for ourselves, because we're getting better. We're healing ourselves. We're helping each other heal. So let's do it. What I want you to do is inhale to the count of 4. And we're going to hold it for a few seconds. And then we're going to exhale. And we'll hold that for a few seconds. And we'll repeat that a few times. Now, You can close your eyes if you're in a place that you can do that. I don't want you to do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're actually sitting at the desk. If you got your head pods on and you're taking a listen, we'll vibrate with us and listen. But if you can close your eyes, close your eyes. You want to take it a step further, put your hands over your heart and feel that you are alive. That's you. Let's get into it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. One more time. Let's inhale. Hold it a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Doesn't it feel great? It feels so good. It feels real good. Hey, my good people. Hey, my good people. Everybody who is in the building, hello to you. To those who are coming on in, it is Friday, Freedom Friday. Welcome to the Noontime, My Time podcast. We're having that conversation that you really need to have today. We're diving deep into the profound truth that you cannot want a reward without being willing to make a sacrifice. You can't. You cannot. I'm here to have that conversation with you, and I'm absolutely honored to have the conversation with each and every one of you. We all have a story to tell. We all have tips that we can share. And it just might be what someone else needs to hear at this very moment, or there might be a message that is being delivered specifically for us, something that we need to hear. And that's the beauty of a conversation. So I want us to talk. I want us to think about life. See, life is full of desires. We have dreams. We have aspirations. We all have that burning passion inside of us. You know, we're yearning to make those achievements, and we're looking forward to the reward. Some of those things that are going to make us happy, make our hearts full, make our hearts sing. But here's the thing. The universe has a way of testing our commitment and determination. It asks us, are you willing to make the sacrifices necessary to turn your dreams into reality? That's the discussion we're going to be having. And there's a beauty in that. There's a beauty and a power in sacrifice, particularly when you're on that path to success, when you are looking to make yourself better, when we're on this journey of well-being. So remember, my good friends, the rewards you seek, they're waiting for you. They're waiting for all of us, but they do require us to have that unwavering commitment and willingness to make sacrifices along the way. Dig it? It's Freedom Friday. I hope you're ready to embark on this self-journey, self-discovery. Let's do it together. Let's share our experiences. We're here to learn from each other. We can unlock some tips, some of those little secrets, something that you do that help you maintain that commitment. Because sacrifices, they play a very crucial role. You've got to be able to stay focused. You've got to be able to honor some of those commitments. Let's think about some of those things. Because it's that persistence that we have, our resilience, when we have a long-term goal, we want to achieve it. We're facing all of those obstacles. We face setbacks. Some of those lessons in there, some of those sacrifices teach us, that valuable lesson of perseverance. They help us develop that resilience that we need. We got to learn to be able to overcome some of these challenges that are out here. Make sure that we're going to stay dedicated on our path. And it's going to get tough. It's going to get tough. Life and the universe is definitely going to test you. And you're going to know it. you're definitely going to know it, but you've got to own that. You've got to, be accountable for your actions, all of your actions, for all of your decisions. Because when we're willing to sacrifice certain things, we're taking ownership of our own path. We're taking ownership of our journey. That's a good thing. So I know that you guys understand and you see the connection between sacrifice and reward. I know that you do. And so I want you to think about some of the things and some of the ways that you have made sacrifices and you have been able to see some of the rewards from that. What sacrifices have you made in pursuit of a particular goal? And how did that contribute to your success? How were you able to fulfill that goal? Think about that. Think about that a little bit, and we're going to start sharing and get into the chat when we start talking to each other. Because we got to think about how we're able to maintain a healthy balance between making necessary sacrifices and enduring our well-being, our self-care. What are we willing to compromise? What are we not willing to compromise? You have to think about that as well. That's definitely something that you're going to have to think about. What are some of those things, guys? Let me know. How do you feel sacrifices play a role in your within your goals? I know some for me, that focus component, that commitment. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes there's certain things that I have to sacrifice so that I can stay committed. I got to prioritize certain things. And especially when there's something that I want to do and there's like those long-term goals, when you got a short-term goal, you can kind of challenge yourself. You can give yourself a challenge of, people take 30-day challenges, give yourself a 90-day challenge. That's a short amount of time. And to be honest, a year is a short amount of time if we want to challenge ourselves. But I do that all the time. I like to give myself challenges. But let's think about how we do that. How are we able to maintain some type of focus? How are we able to honor our commitments? Because what I think about by, like, when we sacrifice those immediate gratifications, when we sacrifice those little distractions that are out there, like maybe hanging out with your friends every weekend, going to a particular place, or that favorite restaurant or favorite bar that you like hanging out at. Maybe sometimes you might have to sacrifice doing that or doing something like that. Anybody ever come across that? Because we know that we need to maintain our focus. We got to pay attention to what really matters to us. We got to channel our energy and just find a way to keep our mind focused on a particular goal. We got to. And you got to be persistent with that. Because when you're trying to achieve long-term goals, those obstacles are just going to keep coming. Guys, I know you hear that lawnmower. It is getting closer and closer to me. I need some sound treatment. For real, I do. Oh my goodness. But hey, when I walk outside and I see that my neighbor's yard is looking nice, I'm just going to smile. I see Keep the Faith with Tori here. She's in the comments. She says, it's the consistency and focus that I struggle with, but you motivate me to work harder. Wow. I tell you, I understand. I struggle with that myself. And sometimes I feel like if we have partners or friends who we can kind of take challenges with, or what I like to say, just have like an accountability partner, that helps us out a lot. It really is. having someone to take that challenge with you, it's going to make you stick to it, you know? Because sacrifices, they're tough. And I mean, the sacrifice is exactly what it is. I know that if you're a parent, one of the easier things to say, and it's not just an easy thing to say, but it's something that most parents do, you probably sacrifice something for your kids. I know we've all got that story. But I want us to think about our wellness. We're not talking about being selfish. We're talking about just thinking about our wellness and thinking about what are some of the things and how are some of the ways that we've made sacrifices for ourselves. How have we prioritized that? You got to do it. Because when you start making those sacrifices, they force you to evaluate and prioritize your values. And that's what's going to make you stay committed. When you prioritize your values, when you know what it is you want, when you got those deep desires, trust me, you're going to want to be committed. See, we let go of things that are the lesser priorities for us. And that's cool. You can do that because you want to make room for the ones that are truly like your long-term visions. You got to do that. Personal growth and development is not an easy journey. We've got this language now. We have people who are having conversation about it now. I love that. I love the time and the space that a lot of us are in. But sacrifices come with this. Sacrifices challenge us to step out of our comfort zone. They push us to our limits. But they also provide us with personal growth. It's going to help us develop new skills, expand our capabilities, discover some of those untapped potentials that you have inside of you. Because when you take the time to just meditate, do the breath work that we do some things like journal, sacrifice some time in front of the TV or some time doing some of that favorite thing that you do just to kind of center yourself, to get quiet with yourself so that you can hear what you want. You've got to hear it. And then you got to write it down. You have to. You got to speak it. You got to write it. And a lot of faith-based people, you know this to be true. You study it in your word because it says in your text, in the beginning was the word. So you've got to do that when you're thinking about a goal or, any goal that you look to achieve. Write those things out. Sacrifice some of those things that aren't important and get yourself in a position that you can prioritize what is most valuable. Take accountability for yourself. Take ownership of the things that you're doing, because sacrifice will make you become accountable of your actions. You've got to be accountable for the decisions that you're making. When we're willing to sacrifice certain things, that's telling you right there that you are taking ownership for your journey. You are becoming accountable for the outcomes. You empower yourself. Keep taking those steps. You got to be proactive. You've got to make whatever steps that it takes to go towards those goals. And that just might be sacrificing something that you thought you enjoyed doing. And it could be something, I'm not saying that it's not fun, but it's just not working for you. And you got to be honest with yourself. You got to say, hey, I got to stop doing this. And also we got to think about this too. A lot of us, even when it comes to something like food, because let me tell you, I love a chocolate chip cookie. I don't know about y'all, but I love a chocolate chip cookie. But sometimes I got to sacrifice those cookies because that's not the best thing for me. It isn't. And we all got that little sweet tooth. That sugar is a drug. Let me let you know it is. You know it is. But you got to sacrifice some of those things when you want your health. It's for you. I got to do that for me. Now I do have times when I say, hey, you know what? I'm going to have the cookie. And I do, but you can't overdo it. You got to know what that balance is like. I see we got Malik Williams in the building. How you doing? Bless and one love and light to all. Thank you for that, brother. And the same right back to you. Happy Friday. We're taking ownership and being accountable for our actions. That's a key part of being responsible, of course. But that plays into the conversation that we're having about making sacrifices. Because we got to be willing to do certain things. We got to be willing to take certain ownership of certain things. Because we know how we are. We do. Some of us know that, we'd rather just be in front of the TV with the remote or have that device in our hand and scrolling. And you've got to decide if you want to sacrifice that time. The time doing that to focus on a bigger goal. What are you doing? What are you doing? You got to ask yourself that. Because you gotta stay focused, guys. You gotta have some type of focus. And when you're making those sacrifices, you want to be clear about what you're doing. You want to be clear because you want to make progress. You can't do that if you're not able to make sacrifices, if you're not willing to write down what you want, speak that, and work towards those goals. Come on. You're not going to do it. And that goes for the food too. You got to make that thing up in your mind. It's a mind thing. It really is. See, we got Malik here. He says sugar is worse than cocaine. Yes, it is, brother. Moderation will save you. I cut it out altogether and error now and then. I eat a little low sugar ice cream with 2 to 5 grams of sugar. Listen, that sugar is in everything. It's hard to get away from. We got to be honest with ourselves. We live in a culture and a country where things are highly processed and it's got something in it that is just not good for us. We got to be some of the only people who eat so much non-food products. Because think about it. Think about all of the foods that we eat that are just made up. You have never seen a cracker tree. You haven't. Never seen a donut tree, a potato chip tree. We just eating stuff that's just processed, made up. It's outrageous. And that's why I say we've got to focus and we've got to keep ourselves accountable. We have to. You got to make those sacrifices. When you really, really want something, if you really want something, it's going to require sacrifice. You are going to be challenged. Do not think that you won't be challenged. You will be, because it's going to become a matter of how bad do you want this? Those people who want to get into this podcasting and they ask me how do I do it and I stay consistent? Well, let me say this. I haven't always. I'm in the challenge of making sacrifices now and making myself be accountable. I had to make the decision to do that. I had to say to myself, how much do I want this? I know how to do it. I have what it takes to do it. And I want you guys to apply that to whatever it is that you want to do. And it can be anything. If you're a painter, you've got to have some paintings. You've got to sacrifice some of that time and you've got to put time towards making sure that you do that. Put those hours away to yourself. How much do you want it? How much are you prioritizing working on that? And what are you allowing to distract you? You got to get that immediate gratification out of the way. And I mean, that's what social media is a lot of. It's like that dopamine hit you get when you go and somebody likes something that you post, that they like a picture. You got to get off of that immediate gratification because it becomes a distraction and you can't focus. And I told myself, I said, well, I like social media. I'm not one of those persons who say, social media is bad, this, that, and the other. No, it's going to be how you receive it and it's going to be how you use it. But there also has to be a balance. There has to be a balance if you're going to be a creator, and you have to say, well, if I am consuming more content than I am uploading and creating, there's a problem here. There's a problem. I'm not focused. I'm not making the proper sacrifices. And I'm falling for the small rewards. You can't get trapped in that. And you can. I see Keep the Faith with Tori here. She said, now Malik, I was headed to go get me some funnel cake, but let me sit down. I hear you. I hear you. Malik says things can't get from nature, all that fake food. Things you can't get from nature, all that fake food is crazy. It is. We just make this stuff up. And it's chemically made up, and it's made up in a way so that it is addictive. It has to be addictive so you will continue to want it, so you can want more of it, so you can eat more of it. Because if you want more, you got to buy more. So that, what's a plan? And it works. But you've got to decide what you want. You've got to prioritize your priorities. You've got to make an evaluation on what's really going on here. You got to look at this picture real honestly. Honestly. Be honest with yourself. That's what you got to do. I see we got Jamesa here. She says, sacrifice is a daily application to life like prayer. Oh, wow. Absolutely. I agree with this already. I am on the journey of health, and yes, it is hard, especially because I travel, but I love me and I want to be here. Oh yeah, we love you too. And wishing you well on that health journey. I love what you said, just the very first sentence, sacrifice is a daily application of life like prayer. What a great sentence. Oh, wow. I love that. Y'all hear that? Some snaps for that one. Jamesa also says, I am going to live out of the country for 6 months to write my book. And that means sacrificing social media, being with the grands, just leaving all I know and am comfortable with. And the end process is gratification of the accomplishment. Exactly. In a nutshell, this is exactly it. This is exactly what we're talking about here. This is the topic of the conversation, that focus and commitment. And it takes sacrifices when you want to achieve a big goal. There may be big sacrifices required. We've got to be willing to do that. Tori is cheering you on, Jamesa. She said, yes, Jamesa. Yeah, we got to do it, guys. What are some of the ways that you guys help hold yourself accountable? And if there's something that you could share, if you could think about something that you made a sacrifice for and you knew you were making that sacrifice, but you saw the reward. What were some of those things? Let me know. All right? Just let a sister know. Evaluate everything. You have to. Sometimes you just got to get quiet with yourself. You got to pay attention to what's going on around you, the people who are around you, and you might just have to sacrifice some friendships sometimes. And you know that. Sometimes we have to sacrifice some of those people who are in our lives because they take us away from our focus. They take us away from our focus, and sometimes they might have an energy that could be draining. that person who is always complaining, that person who just never has any good news. There's always a problem. You got to sacrifice that friendship. You do. You got to give that up because it's just not in alignment with what you want. It's not. And if you were going to be honest with yourself, you know that that might be something that you have to give up. Your peace of mind, I see, it's everything. Jamesa has a comment right here, and I was going in that direction. She said, peace of mind, 26 pounds down, less baggage of negativity, knowing that I am enough. Oh, wow. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. Y'all, this lawnmower, every time I think my neighbor has cut enough on this side, it seems like I keep hearing more. But you know what? I didn't want to sacrifice the show because that was going on. I said, you know what? Who wants to listen is going to listen. Who's going to be here is going to be here. We're going to share with each other. We're going to uplift each other. This is what it's about. And let me ask you guys something. What does sacrifice really mean to you? How do you perceive it in context of like pursuing your goals, pursuing success? What does sacrifice mean to you? How do you perceive that? Anybody? I'm curious. Because for me, it means some of those same things that I was telling you about, sacrificing some of those friendships, sacrifice some of those things. Like, in fact, I sacrificed a trip that I have wanted to go on, a trip that I usually go on every year, and I couldn't make it this year. I had to sacrifice that trip because there was a bigger goal that I had. I needed to invest that finance somewhere else. And I'm certainly glad that I did, you know. Yeah, it would have been a fun trip. I would have loved it, but I would have been spending some money that I needed to put somewhere else. And I wanted to invest that in myself. And as I sit here right now, and I'm on this podcast and I'm talking to you guys, this is some of that investment as well. Monetarily, I had to invest in this. I had to invest the idea. I had to write the idea down. I had to be focused. So I couldn't make it. And it was a trip that I really wanted to go on. Let me tell you, I wanted to go, and I almost changed my mind so many times. I was like, well, it'll be okay. I can go. I know how to save money. I'll save that back up. It'll be okay. That's not going, that won't hurt me too bad. But no, I had to make that sacrifice. I had to be stronger than that. It's okay. And it was okay. Because if I didn't do that, who knows what state of mind I would be in now? Because I wouldn't have gotten my writing done. And I really needed to do that. Because I'm a person who I'm a planner. I'm a producer. So by nature, I have this stuff planned out. And I know when it comes to podcasting, and particularly when you go live, a lot of it seems, what should I say? It could be on the fly because conversation can go that way. And I don't know what people are going to ask or how people are going to respond, how we're going to get in this chat and have the conversation. And even though that is true, there still is a general guidance that I have to have. I still have to guide the conversation in a particular way, and I have an idea of what I would like to talk about. So I have to make sure that, I have this written, and I do that. And then not just each day, but what I'm saying to you is just the overall scope of the project. Anything that I do, any project that I work on, it is very well planned. Very well planned. I don't know what it looks like to people. I don't know if it looks like it's not. I don't know if it looks like it's easy, but I'll say to you, a lot goes into it. And I do sacrifice a lot of things to get it done. I see we got Malik here. He says, everything that I thought I loved about myself, my hard outer shell and stone face facade, I had to not only sacrifice my self-vision, I had to sacrifice my egotistical way of thinking to create a more peaceful me. I'm happy I did. Respect, man. I like what you said here. We do. We have to give some of those things up. There comes a time in life when we know that we want more, and we have to figure not only do we want more, I should say we want something different. We want to live differently. And so when we want to live differently, we've got to do different things. And that might be sacrificing a whole lot of your old patterns, sacrificing some things that really made you happy, things and people. I see Jamesa here. She says, and I appreciate all you do. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We've got Genesis here in the building. Happy Friday, lady. It's noontime. Happy lunchtime. She says, I sacrifice a lifestyle for my life. Come on. Right there, that sentence, I already like that. I sacrifice a lifestyle for my life. I hope y'all hear what this sister is saying. I simplified my lifestyle for a fuller life. It made me take notice of what really matters at my age. Letting go of that lifestyle opened bigger doors for my future life. I'm a completely different woman than I was. It was a late adjustment, but I am thankful for prayer and change. Oh, wow, absolutely. I dig everything that you say right here, and I can relate to that in a lot of ways. I can relate to that in several ways. I simplified lots of things. So many things at the age I am now. I don't know. I didn't think that way when I was younger. And I don't know. They say you become older, you can become wiser. Some do. Some people out here just aging. We know that, right? But I can dig what you're saying here because I sacrificed a lifestyle for my life as well. I certainly have a very simple life. You know, I gave up some things, changed some things, and I love it this way. And CJ Mason here says, Malik Thompson, that's growth. All right. Ideology and what we got going on here? And I understand that different changes make different outcomes. It does. Absolutely. And I think she's talking about Malik Williams here. That's okay. Sometimes we get on here and we're typing and we typing these things out. Get a little typo in there, and that's okay too, because we know we right in here having a conversation with each other. Keep It Faithful Tori says, I love that, Genesis. I do too. Matter of fact, let's put that comment up again. I can totally relate to that. She says, I sacrifice a lifestyle for my life. Do y'all hear that? That's deep. That's deep. I love it. I see we got Pamela in the building. How you doing, Pamela? She says, our priorities and mindset seems to change as we get older. They do. They do. Because we understand, some of those things that we thought were important, they just aren't. They're just not. You don't have to, Jamesa says, sorry about the typos. You better not, you don't have to be sorry for that. Listen, we on these phones or whatever we on, tablets, whatever, and it is what it is. It's okay. We all understand. We certainly do. But it's about balance. You live enough life and you understand like certain things or just not as important as you thought they were. You don't have to drive. I don't know. I don't want to tell people how to live their life or how to spend their money, but maybe driving a certain car isn't important to you. Maybe living in a certain neighborhood or size house is not important to you. You know? And I get that. You sacrificed what the flashy things are, but you still have a full life. You can. And listen, you can still have a full life otherwise. So I really don't want to, I don't want anyone to feel bad for anything that they like. Because if that's what you like, I feel like you're supposed to have it. You're supposed to get it if that's what you want. But just make sure that you're happy. Make sure you're making the proper sacrifices and that it is balanced with that reward. You got to be able to maintain a healthy, work-life balance, a healthy self-care balance. There'll be certain sacrifices that you have to make, like we were talking about. I can't eat those chocolate chip cookies every day, but I might be able to get, a few in every now and again. It's okay. It's absolutely all right. Y'all don't have too much more for you for you here today. If you've got something else that you want to share with me, you can share it with me. If something is on your mind, you can free your mind. It is Freedom Friday. It is. I just want us to know that, listen, wisdom will come if you live long enough. Or at least I hope that it does. And as we kind of get to an end of this conversation, I just want to leave you guys with the message to let you know that it's okay. Get you an accountability partner if you don't know how to do that on your own. But you need to embrace the power of sacrifice on your journey because you can achieve your goals. Remember this, that every sacrifice you make is a testament to your unwavering commitment, resilience, and determination. You got to trust the process, though. So be courageous. Let some of the wisdom that was shared here today in the chat and within this conversation, let that guide you and navigate you in the choices that you're making so that you can feel good about those trade-offs along your path. Embrace the challenge with grace, knowing that each sacrifice is going to bring you closer to your reward, closer to the things that you truly deserve. You got it within you. You're strong. You got that strength. You got the courage. We are strong people. You can persevere. So make those sacrifices that are necessary. You can do it. So I'm going to tell you this, my good friends. Oh, my good friends. Go forth with good intention. Have good intention. I want you to understand that your sacrifices will not be in vain. They're much like seeds that you sow. That's what sacrifices are a lot like. So think about it like that. Think about sacrifices as seeds that you sow today that will bloom with the rewards that you're wanting tomorrow. Just trust your journey. Believe in your dreams. Let your sacrifices be your stepping stones. Those stepping stones, let them be full with a purpose. You can fulfill your dreams and all of those things that you want. You can have abundance. Trust that journey. I just want to thank you guys. Thank you for joining me today. We're not going to be in here long. I feel like it was a good conversation. I want you to remember that you got that power within you and you can level up your life. You can do that. I got a comment here from Malik that I'm going to put up before we get out of here to do some breath work. Let me get here to his comment. He says, my friends and I coach each other through quitting pork as teens. Support is key, especially with like-minded people. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. It's like having an accountability partner. If you got an accountability partner, yeah, that's going to help you out a bit. So look for that. Look for people who have like mind. Look for people who have goals that they want to achieve, like goals, and get out there. Get out there and do it because you can do it. All right, y'all. Until we meet again, I want y'all to stay true to yourself. Have a good weekend. I want you to embrace your sacrifices. Let your light shine. Your reward awaits you. It does. So take care of yourself. We're going to do this breath work and we're going to get ready for the weekend. I hope y'all ready for it. I'll behave out here. Let's do some breath work. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. And hold that a few seconds. Inhale one more time. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Don't you feel great? I feel great. I appreciate you guys. And if nobody gave you a smile today, if nobody smiled today, you just close your eyes and give yourself a big smile and see how that feels for you. All right? Y'all be great out here. That's what we do. One love, y'all.